Hey, we got some new parts. If y'all can read that, that says DCS, which stands for Diesel Conversion Specialist. I opened it up. I know what it is, but I'm going to open it up and let y'all see what it is. Put your guesses down in the comments. I know y'all are going to see it in a little bit, but put your guesses down in the comments what this is. Okay, you got your guesses? Okay, let's open this up. These are my engine. Nobody needs those. These are my engine mounts. Comes with all the hardware, which is nice. Nice polyurethane bushings. So we'll get these installed on the engine over here, and then we might try and set it in there here in a little bit. Well, we got the engine mounts on. See that red down there? That's the engine mounts. I didn't have enough hardware. They didn't send me enough. That would have been nice to know. But got me some hardware. And we're going to see if we can bolt this engine in here. Man, let me know in the comments if y'all need gnats, because they're really bad down here. Well, for the first time, this truck is a Cummins. Well, it's bolted in. I got the mounts bolted up. I got to go back and tighten some stuff. And this engine hoist is holding the front of the engine up because of it not having a transmission on the back. It likes to rock forward like this. So I've got it pretty level with the engine hoist. But I got a Cummins now in my truck, bolted up. And now we're going to get the transmission stuff get going. And maybe some more engine stuff. Well, this has been several days since the last part of the video. I have a bad habit of stretching these videos out, but if y'all can see, my engine bay's empty again, and I'm gonna explain why I did that. I went and ordered some parts for the engine, so I pulled it back out. I set it on my engine stand. I'm gonna show y'all some problems I had, some things y'all might want to know if you're doing a conversion like this, and show y'all some yeah, well, I just said that. I'd like to repeat myself. Things I've learned. So let's get into that. Okay, we're here in the engine bay, and as y'all can see, you see these bolt, that bolt, and that bolt. Well, when DCS sends you these mounts, what they don't tell you is that they don't send you those bolts. And so I had to go and buy those, and they're what did I get? They're 1/2-inch bolts. Half inch? I think they're 1/2-inch bolts. 5/8 head. Y'all tell me whatever size that is. And so I got those installed, and I set the engine in here and found clearance issue with the turbo to the air box. So I getting that fixed with this manifold I'm going to show y'all here in a little bit. And I ordered this right here. This is the conversion friendly power steering line. Comes from the Dodge power steering pump straight to the Ford brake booster. That's one piece I ordered. And then I bought an engine stand and set the engine up on an engine stand. And I bought the DCS conversion friendly exhaust manifold. It's a 2-piece, supposed to be better, and it sets the turbo instead of at like a 45 angle to the engine, and now sets it straight up beside the engine, and it sets it 1 cylinder back, so it takes care of the clearance issues with the airbox. And then because of the change in position of the turbo, you have to reorient this, which I haven't done yet. Reorient the turbo so that the feed line and the drain line sit straight up and down. And that's something I'm gonna do. But I was working on this the other day, and I came in, found some problems. Like, let's see if I can show y'all this. okay, maybe I can't. I broke this band clamp, or V clamp, whatever you want to call it. And so be careful if y'all ever do one like this. And I bought the flexible drain tube for the turbo. And so y'all know, this is the oil feed line for the turbo. And DCS tells you that you should be able to take the factory one and flip it around, and it should reach. I found that it doesn't. So I got a line made, nice pretty one, so I can get the oil to the turbo. And then I got, sorry about the sun. I bought the alternator adapter mounts, because this is the 6.0 alternator, and I bought their brackets on the top and the bottom. And you can actually use the factory Cummins belt with this, so that's nice. And then now I'm working on getting some of the sensors in. Having some trouble with that. I don't know what all sensors need to come out. I need to do some more research, so I'm gonna get into that. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all something that might help you, might not. This was just my situation. You see this? And this port right here? Well, this port was the feed line for a heat exchanger for the transmission, the Dodge transmission. And DCS wants me to put a temperature port right there. So I needed to get this little beastie out. This thing is rough. And if it would focus. Come on, focus. Focus! Why is it not focusing? Come on. Man, I need to get a better camera. But this thing, it's a pipe nipple, and, well, a piece of pipe hooked to the end I'm holding right here. And it goes straight to threads. There's no hex on it. There's no easy way to get this out. And it's in a bad place to get to. It's under the alternator, which sits right here. The fan blades get in the way of putting the pliers on it. And the way I finally got it out is I put penetrating oil on it. I use a vice grips on it to turn it. That didn't work. So I let penetrating oil on it sit for a while. And I went and I got our camp torch. This right here. And I heated right here. All around the hole. Heated it up. And put my pliers on there. And broke it loose first try. So if y'all have to do this, that's what I would try. Because I struggled with this. Another thing. I don't know who had this engine before me. Well, I bought it from my uncle. But whoever had it before me, for some reason, it had an open port here in the side of the fuel pump. And I didn't know what it was. I'm kind of clueless. I'm learning this stuff as I go. So I got on Google, figured out what it was, and it's my fuel return line. So I went and I bought Larry B's. I think that's what it's called. It's a fuel relief, fuel pressure regulator, banjo boat, whatever you want to call it. And it's actually adjustable. There's a nut on top. You can adjust your fuel pressure with that. And then the factory, it comes with a metal fuel line. And it's routed in behind the pump and underneath all this stuff. And comes out back here where the feed line is. And the upgrade kit comes with just a rubber hose with a cover on it. And you can route it wherever you want. And so I got that installed. And so hopefully that'll work better than the factory setup. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all a tour on how the sensor adaptation is going. This is on top of the oil filter, and DCS sends you an adapter. You go pull the oil pressure sensor out of the 6-liter. It screws into this, and it screws into the port on top of your oil filter. That's pretty simple. This right here, I showed y'all how I took the old piece out. This is the adapter DCS sends you, and you are supposed to put the oil temperature sensor or the coolant temperature sensor, whichever you feel like, because DCS actually puts the oil temperature and the coolant temperature sensor in the coolant system, which is strange, but it works. So I'm going to put my oil temperature sensor here, and then I'm going, well, here, let me show you. Right here is another port, and they want you to put the other coolant or oil temperature sensor, whichever one you didn't use, down there, here. See, I'm not going to use that because the factory Cummins coolant sensor is located, I'm going to block the sun for y'all, is located right here in the back of the block. And these for some reason DCS didn't put it there. So this is a DCS, this little one right here. This is a DCS adapter or bushing. You screw your forward sensor into this, and then it would screw in up on the front. But I bought a 1/2 to 3/4 pipe thread bushing, and then that then screws into where the factory Cummins coolant temperature sensor is. And the reason I want to do this is because usually coolant gets the hottest at the back of the block, so I want to read it there rather than on the front. But I'm going to get this stuff in. I was actually putting the sensor in, and I was putting some torque on it. I was like, oh, it's just about to get tight, I'm going to stop, and it snapped off. So when y'all do this, if y'all do this, be careful, because those sensors are really fragile. So I'm going to go get the rest of the sensors out of the 6-liter over there, and I'm going to put them in this engine. Well, another part of the video for y'all. Another couple days for me. Well, a couple weeks. But I told y'all in an earlier piece of this video that we found out that transmission in that truck won't work because of it being a gas manual transmission. The bell housing's smaller. I had to get custom flywheel, and it just wouldn't work. So I went on Facebook Marketplace, and I found a diesel ZF6, and the guy gave me a really good price on it. We went down there and picked it up, and it's up here, and I'll show y'all it. So here it is. This is the transmission I got from Florida. It is a ZF6 S6 750, so it's the heavier duty one that they put behind the 6.0s and the 6.4 Power Strokes. And this one came out of an 03 6.0. And this one is a 4-wheel drive one, and you can tell it's a 4-wheel drive one because it's got the flat plate on the back to bolt the transfer case up to. This one I just bought as the transmission. Nothing comes with it, it's just a transmission. But I have all the parts that I need to put this transmission in the white truck, and I have all the parts I need from the blue truck. So I really just needed the transmission. Guy sent the shifter along with it, and well, I'm gonna go see if I can get this transfer case out and see if I can get it, make sure it hooks up to this transmission. And if it does, it's really good. Really good. Or mint, as some people would say. So we're going to get into that. And it shifts, which is good. That's a plus. Yeah. Let's get into taking the transfer case out. Okay, here we go. We got it out. And I got this out a couple days ago, and I went to test fit it to this new transmission I bought, and it's different. See, this transfer case, this is an NV273, NP273, whichever you want to call it. It's either one. And this transfer case came with 4 input shaft options. It either could get a 31 spline, a 34 spline, a 24 spline, or a 29 spline. And this one has a 24 spline input shaft, which hooks up to the manual transmission in the blue truck. But this transmission, it's newer, and it was behind a diesel, and they updated it in 03 to the 34 spline output shaft on the transmission. So this transfer case needs a 34 spline input shaft. And I actually did some research and found out you can just switch them. So I got the input shaft, and I'm going to get into switching it. So I got to pull apart this transfer case, and I'll show y'all how I do that. Well, as you can see, it's all apart. I've got the drive chain, everything laying over there. It's just a whole bunch of snap rings. You take the tail shaft off, whatever you want to call it, and then there's a snap ring you take out in there, and then this back piece comes off. Then snap ring in there to pull the gears and the chain out and the main shaft. And then you have to go in the outside and pull a seal out and get a snap ring to get that planetary out. This planetary, this planetary in here, this gear. When you take that out, you can then pull it apart, get your input shaft out, and then I'm gonna put the one I have in there. So I'm gonna work on getting that snap ring out and show y'all when I've got that apart and I've getting ready to put the new input shaft in. Here we are. This is the input shaft for the transfer case, and there's a seal that goes right here. I pulled that out, and down in there, see the ends of it right there. That snap ring is what holds the input shaft and the whole planetary gear assembly in. And we'll get that out, and then we can work on getting the input shaft changed. Here it is. Here's the planetary gear. This is the this is the snap ring that holds it all in that I showed y'all. And this is the snap ring that goes over here and holds the input shaft into the planetary gear. So, if I can do this with one hand, yep. Oh, hold on. Yeah, pull this out. There's a clutch on here, or some such. I heard it called a clutch. Take that off, and I do believe that's it. So, where's my other one? Here we go. Now let's compare these two. Yep, they look. This one definitely looks better, and it's got enough splines. I checked it on the transmission already, so we're gonna take this one. Drop it right in there. Take this. Drop it right there. And then I'm going to put this snap ring back on. But I need two hands, so I can't show you all that. And it's all gone now. I ran into some problems with it. So I moved it all into the house and ordered parts. And now it's all back out here. I've got my new parts. The problems I found were actually with this. Oops. But this is a new input shaft, and there's wear washers. There's two wear washers in here. I think they're wear washers. And when I pulled this the old input shaft out, there were broken pieces in here, and that's not what's supposed to happen. So I actually went and ordered pretty much a rebuild kit for this transfer case. It came with all the wear washers, all the bearings, and this is they call it the pilot pocket bearing, and it goes in the input shaft and seals everything from the outside. Well, it goes like in the input shaft from the other end and seals it. And when I was try to put the old one in this input shaft, I actually broke the cap off of it. So I had to get a new one of these, and I had noticed some wear in these bearings and stuff. I could feel the wear in it, so I just ordered a rebuild kit, which comes with, like I said, all of my bearings and stuff, and comes with bearings. I ordered a new oil pump for it, and I ordered bearings, and then here's are the pieces that go on your shifter fork, stuff like that. So I'm gonna get into putting this transfer case back together. I got a lot of my stuff done. I got most of the bearings in. I got the big bearings in. I didn't get my this bearing goes right here, and it's a blind bearing, whatever you want to call it, and so I have to have a special puller for that, which I do not have. And then this bearing, this is the new bearing, the one I told y'all about. I broke the old one of this when I tried to put it in the new input shaft. This one, you're supposed to have a special tool or something for it, and that would have been nice to know. But I broke this one when I was trying to put it in.
That's
so,
the new one.
Yeah, I broke the new one. So this one's messed up, and so I gotta order new pieces, and it's raining, and it's dark. So, yeah, Jaden, that's fine. Those are fine. But well, I think I'm going to end the video here. This has been a longer video than normal. But thank y'all for watching part 6. And I'll see you in the next one to finish this transfer case. See ya.